You're live, Rose.
Hello, everyone, and a hearty welcome to all of you and to our first seminar on real estate in Kenya. We are calling the Lifestyle Shift in Nairobi. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be here, as I've seen so many of you who've registered, friends and other people I haven't met, coming in droves to this to get this information, and I really truly appreciate that. My name is Rosemary Musumba. I live in New York City. Roosevelt Island to be precise, and most of you have met me virtually or we've interfaced in the tri-state at a funeral gathering, a barbecue, nyama choma, or when we're hosting some of the Kenyan dignitaries visiting the US. You may be wondering why a webinar on real estate and what is so special about it when there are so many apartments. Yes, truly, 88 condominiums is special. Nothing like this in Nairobi, honestly. I mean, we see a lot of this in Manhattan, but we're getting a slice of that coming to Nairobi, to Africa. And to get more information about this particular initiative, allow me to introduce my brother, Jonathan Jackson, who is the owner and proprietor of Lordship Africa. He is well-tested, has the experience and the technical know-how in this field, a field he pursued at an early stage in college, and he is committed to what he does. Please feel free to pose more questions, and if time allows, we shall endeavor to answer them. If we don't, we will definitely answer each of your questions through email, or we'll use any other means to get to you, because we value your questions, we value your sentiments, and for you to come to this journey with us. At the same time, I wish to really thank and appreciate those who registered for the seminar and posed their questions therein. This gave us time to prepare appropriately. Without much ado, join me in welcoming Jonathan to this webinar. Jonathan, could you please share with us briefly your background and how your journey started in this business? Karibu sana.
Great. Thank you very much, Rosemary. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to introduce me, and I very much value our communication and our cooperation together. Thank you. So welcome everybody and to this webinar. And I want to give a little bit of a background about who I am and my background, and a little bit about my work, and then we will move on into the 88 Nairobi, and give you as much detail as I can in this period of time. I'm going to try and do it in half an hour so we can have discussions. So this is the is an iconic building, and we're calling it an iconic investment because, as a lot of you know, it's going to be a 44-floor building in the middle of Nairobi, in Upper Hill, on top of the hill. So it's going to be probably the tallest building in Nairobi in terms of above every other building. And it is going to be the tallest high-end residential building in Africa. So let me take you to the first slide so that I can. And we will go through the presentation, and we'll have a few little discussions in the middle. So I was born in Eldoret. My father was a teacher there and worked with AIC Church. I've been over 35 years in real estate development. I first started the group in 1989 in Czechoslovakia, which is now Czech Republic. And the Lordship Group, we have developed over 600,000 square meters, that's 6 million square feet of space, with a value of about $1 billion. Lordship Africa was registered in 2010. This is the projects in Czech and Slovak Republic. These are showing some of the individual projects we have built there. And here you can see one of the last shopping centers I built and developed and opened. And you'll see on the bottom left-hand corner, it says Watch Daring Abroad by Alex Chamwada. I guess most of you know him. Alex came to Prague and did a whole episode on Daring Abroad about me and my work in Prague. So if you want to know more about my activities and business and the and the projects I've developed there, please go and watch that. So coming on to Lordship Africa, I want to first go back to my roots here, where I started from and how I started in Kenya. And you can see here I am with my sister playing with three nice young ladies in Nandi. And these three young girls, they're still good friends of my family. And in fact, I think two of them are even on this webinar, listening to this webinar. So I really appreciate their relationship and friendship over many, many years we have built and developed. So this is, you can see I started here in Kenya. In terms of my activities, I would first like to also tell you I love building buildings, and I get great satisfaction of that. But I also get great satisfaction working in the communities. And here you can see my main aim is to build businesses in the communities, and that's really where my passion is. And what we do, when you go into communities, they ask you for money and food, and I say, no, I'm not going to give you money or food. What I will do is I'll give you a fishing rod and teach you how to fish so you can put food on the table yourself. And you can see here, this is one example of where we have done training, and then we teach them how to do business in hairdressing or beauty saloon, or here you can see on the left-hand side, we have a car wash, and we have motorbikes, and on the right side, this is Mukukutenis, and this is a youth group in Kangwari, which are ex-convicts. They can't get jobs, they were in petty crime, but we have helped them, and actually many youth ex-convict groups, to be able to start their own businesses, because they can't get jobs on their own. And the great satisfaction we have is when the police tell us in that area, crime rate has actually reduced. Now, to help us to integrate into the communities, I went ahead and bought a football club, and this has really helped us to integrate. And some of you who will know football in Kenya, this is called Nairobi City Stars. And Nairobi City Stars, I bought them at the bottom of the Super League 2 years ago. In 1 year, we were the champions of the Super League. And now we're in the Premier League, and we're third in the Premier League. With very good management and zero corruption, it shows what we can do here in Nairobi. And they're a great team, and do support them. And they all come from the different communities, and it really helps us to integrate and get accepted into the communities. Part of it, what I do is also doing basketball. And here I was actually last weekend opening our second basketball court with the Minister of Sports, Amina Mohammed. And this is one of the things I want to do, is open basketball courts in all of the different communities in Nairobi. And because youth coming in to join and play, it gets them off the streets, it gives them an activity, not only doing the business. So that's one of the sport of trying to engage youth. Now, as I said, I don't really like giving out food and money, but during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, there was a big desperation and lack of food and lack of income in the communities. So we went and did a humanitarian aid. We actually delivered 2.1 million meals into the communities using our footballers, and my team as well, and my staff, and we've been very active in doing that. And also, you can see in the bottom right, we do a lot of cleanup work as well in the communities. So here's my staff doing the football, and this is my footballers helping to do the distribution. So here, if you're interested in helping the foundation or getting involved, any income that comes in only goes to help support and seed fund businesses in the communities. I cover all the overheads for the foundation. So we do look for money, and we do look for money to help build business and to jenga jirani in the communities. So just now, we're just waiting for Rosemary to join us again. If you could just wait a moment, we just Rosemary was going to join us at this stage. Here she comes. So here's Rosemary.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And I'm glad you started off with the human interest story. I mean, that is always very, very fascinating. My question to you is that why did you set up the foundation, and what drove you to set it up and do the work that you do in the informal sectors? I know you adhere to not giving out money, the konya konya, ombeho, as most Kenyans know, not giving out handouts, but empowering people. Back to you.
Thank you. So thank you for that, Rosemary. It actually came from my mother, because when my mother was in Nairobi, she was helping women in the communities, and she taught me the concept of not giving money, but helping to teach them to gain a skill from which they can earn their own money. And my mother was teaching women how to sew and make things, which she was able to help them to sell them. And from that, I've sort of developed that idea, and now taking it to another much bigger level and helping youth groups all over Nairobi. And it gives you so much satisfaction. I love building buildings. I love to see the completion of a building. But actually, when you transform lives, and lives gets transformed, when you go and see a community, you go into the community, meet some youth group, they don't trust you, they don't trust each other, they're looking shabby, they're not looking, they're doing some petty crime. And then you help them to build a business and develop their own business. So they start earning their own money and putting food on the table themselves. Their self-worth goes up huge. They are now dressing nicely. They feel confident. And that transformation really, really touches me. And it touches, all the other people who work with us to make that transformation. So, yes. No,
I was just going to say, Jonathan, that's really good. Like I said, the human aspect, touching the lives of people and literally seeing them, transformed through the foundation. And I'm glad you're doing that. But I know most of our people, let me just say some housekeeping matters. People are saying that they can't hear us. And for those who cannot hear us, please try and leave and join again, because this is something that you want to hear from our own son. I like that comment from Mimi. Wonderful initiative, Jonathan. Thank you for being a super Kenyan son. Really kudos to that. But we want to hear about 88. I think all of us, I am dying to hear about it.
Okay. So let me continue with the presentation. And I will go first to all the projects, within that we're doing at the moment. And so we have 88, we have Karen Hills, and we have Lordship Square. So this is Karen Hills. I think a lot of you know it. It's 61-acre plots in Karen. We put all the infrastructure in. We're selling plots there and allowing people to build the houses, but under very controlled regulations. And that means that your neighbor is never going to build right on top of you. Your neighbor's never going to subdivide. You can only build one house. You can't, and there's very clear, only one location you can build your house. So this helps to protect everybody there and helps to keep your value of what you have built. And this has been very, very popular and going very well. If you're interested in that, do contact us or do contact one of our salespeople, and we would love to tell you. As you can see, that it has very good amenities. The amenities, we've got tennis courts, a football ground, children's play area, security hut, all the roads. It's done extremely high and very good security around it as well. The other project that we're doing is Lordship Square. We haven't started this. This is in the planning stage. Some of you who have been to our 88 Nairobi sales office, this is the location where the sales office is at the moment. Basically if you see at the bottom left-hand picture, you see Ngong Road, and the little white building beyond it is the I&M Bank building in Upper Hill. And so I own this piece of land between 2nd and 3rd Ngong, and we will be building this. It'll be an office building, multifunctional building with retail as well. Now, coming on to what we all want to listen to is Nairobi 88 Nairobi. It is going to be iconic. It is going to be an amazing building, standing up above all other buildings in Nairobi. It is the tallest high-end residential building in Africa, and it's going to be unique. We're building it to European standards. It's been designed. Sorry, I'll just go back. It's been designed by architects in Turkey. As those of you who know Turkey, there's a lot of high-rise buildings in Turkey, and they're amazing, and they really know what they're doing. So they've come over with our Kenyan team and working with our Kenyan team to design this building so that there is a transfer of knowledge coming into Kenya as well. So in terms of location, those of you who know Upper Hill, this is where we are. You can see on the right-hand side the old CBD and where the Parliament building is on the right-hand side, and then you've got Uhuru Park, and then you come up the hill, you've got the Kenya High Courts, you've got all the civil servants where the orange area is, and then where the blue area is now the new financial center, where you've got the World Bank, you have got Britain headquarters, you've got several embassies, the British Embassy, the Japanese Embassy, and as you go further to the left, you've got all the hospitals, the main Nairobi Hospital and Kenyatta Hospital. So in this location, you have got 40,000 workers and no really good quality high-end residential space at all. So the people working in the World Bank, in the embassies, in all of these different companies, in the lawyers who have all their offices here around our courts, they travel 3 to 4 hours a day to get to Upper Hill. And they are desperate for this building to be finished so that they can live in Upper Hill and even walk or get to their work within 5 minutes. And this is one of the driving reasons why I've decided to build this high-rise building here and providing good, amazing quality apartments and making this iconic building. And you also see you've got the Nairobi Club just at the end of the road, and that is obviously another great facility. In terms of the lease of the land, I'm pleased to say, starting from 2019, we got a 99-year lease. So this adds a huge value to the property going forward. Now, in terms of construction, you can see on the left-hand side, in December last year, we were right down in the pit, just putting in the foundations. It took us a long time to dig out in the hard rock in Upper Hill. By March, we were already now above ground level. And in November, you can see on the right-hand side, we were all up by around 15th floor, 16th floor. And just a few weeks ago, I was on the top of the building with Betty Charlo, and I'm sure a lot of you have followed Betty Charlo's comments and social media. And she's just putting out, in fact, either tonight or tomorrow morning, a new video about the building. So do check out her video tomorrow. She's putting out a really interesting video on the building, showing how it's grown and developed. And I really appreciate her being an ambassador for us. So this was the 16th floor just a couple of weeks ago. This afternoon, I went again to the top of the building. It's already on the 18th floor in 2 weeks' time. We're doing nearly one floor every week. So this is how it's looking like just now. In fact, it's even got another couple of floors on this since this photo was taken. In terms of project schedule, we're looking at the concrete frame being finished around mid this year. The finishing contractor will, mid next year, beg your pardon, mid next year. And in around just after Easter, we'll be starting the finishing contractor, taking through to completion end of 23. Now, coming on to the building itself, I would take this opportunity just to explain it to you and talk it through with you. And I'm going to start on the right-hand side, on the lower level, where you can see executive. So, and then if you go up, you'll see in the middle the box sticking out of the building, and you'll see on the left, we call it the 88 Club Lounge. And above that is the swimming pool with the sunset terrace. Now, all the floors below that we call executive apartments, and they have studios, 1 beds and 2 beds. And they all come fully furnished. So when you buy it, they're fully furnished. Then above the 88 Club Lounge, you then have the Executive Plus apartments. Now, the Executive Plus are a higher quality standard. They are starting from the 34th floor. So 34th floor going upwards, they amazing views, and you will get to have a higher quality, but no furniture. And then you have the duplexes, then you have the presidential penthouse and the regal penthouse on the top. And on very top, we have a helicopter pad as well, which will be for emergency use only. And so all the floors above the 88 Club Lounge, they will be finished with all air conditioning and heating. And all the floors below in the executive, we're adding the cables and the wires for air conditioning and heating. So all you have to do if you want it is to buy the unit and plug it in. So it's already prepared for air conditioning and heating, if at a later stage you want to add it. Now let's go and look at the lower floors. And on the lower floors, I will start from the left-hand side. The gym, we have an amazing large gym. It's going to be in the parking area, so you can make as much noise as you like without disturbing your neighbors. You're going down on the bottom, we have valet parking. And then if I just go back up to the middle upper level comment, you see visitor suites. Now this is a really first for Nairobi, that in the apartment building, we're providing visitor suites like hotel bedrooms, so if you've got too many visitors coming to stay with you, you can book a room in the visitor suites like a hotel room, and your guests don't have to leave the condominium. They can stay there and enjoy all the functions with you. Now, very important for owners of the building and for diaspora is that you could be renting out your unit if you bought a unit, but as an owner, you also can come when you're in Nairobi. You can rent a unit here and use all the facilities in the building as if you were a resident in the building. It will not be available for anyone outside those two categories. So only for residents and for owners can use the visitor suite. And you see underneath it, you have got DSQs. So there are available DSQs as well. And we can tell you more about that if you want to later. Then below we have a convenience store. So if you have forgotten your sugar or your milk, or you need a newspaper, all the convenience products will be there in the store, and frozen meals and things like that. Then below it, then next to it, you can see next to the convenience store, we have the lounge. And on the other side of the lounge, there's actually going to be a business center and a co-working, which I'll show you in a moment. Then in the lower ground floor, we have the spa and a multifunctional room. The spa is going to be an amazing spa probably with a Turkish bath in there and all the latest functions you would find in a really modern spa. The multifunctional room, we're designing it so it can be for cinema use, it can be for parties, it can be for presentations, and also for games. So you can have billiards, you can do other sort of indoor games that you could have in the multifunctional room. And you can rent it for your own private parties as well. And then next to it, we'll have a third-party restaurant. I'm thinking to do it like a good Italian restaurant. Italian food is good for nearly everybody, going from pasta to pizzas to chicken and steaks. So I think it's a good sort of type. So Italian is what I'm thinking of at the moment, but no certainty. I'm open for ideas. Then I will go and let's look on the floor, on the entrance. This is the main entrance going into the building. It's a grand entrance. And as you see, as you come in from the bottom left-hand corner, you drive into the drop-off area and the valet area. And from there, you go into the reception. And through the reception area, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week, you go into the lounge area. This is like a 5-star lounge, which I'll show you in a minute. And then we have on the top end, we have co-working space and meeting rooms. And this all, and the co-working area is for free. And the meeting rooms will probably be rented out to help support the common services. And then on the bottom side, we have this beautiful bar, which I'll show you in a moment. And then outside, this garden, which is accessible from the lounge and the bar. So it'd be a great sort of synergy of space. So, and then at the bottom, we had a convenience store, which we discussed already. Now, this is the valet. You can see it's big open space, a lot of easy access in and out of the building. Coming through a really nice modern reception. Coming into the lounge, it's like, as I said, a 5-star hotel lounge. You've got the co-working area on one side, and then on the other side, you have the bar, which all leads out onto the garden. And from here, from the lounge, you go into the lift lobby, and we have 6 passenger lifts. All their high-speed lifts, because it's a high-rise building, very tall building. They're all very fast lifts, and there's 6 of them. So the waiting time is going to be very low. And then on the other side of the building, we have a service lift. So you will not be mixing with all the people moving goods up and down the building. There's a separate lift for that. So this will be only for the residents' use at all. So from here, you'll go up to your apartment. Now, this is the executive apartment. And as you can see, all the furniture inside is included in your price. So the carpets. Now, what is not going to be in there, I think there's a picture of a bottle of wine and some chocolates. Now, that's not in the price, but I'm sure if you speak nicely to your sales manager, maybe he'll put some in for you. But basically, everything is included in the price. And you can see here the kitchen area, the tables are all included. And in the bedroom, okay, the sheets and pillows are not included, but everything else is included. Then we go through here into the bathrooms. It doesn't really show the quality of the tiles. Those of you who have visited the show apartment, and these are actually photos of the show apartment. So this is of the executive apartment. And there's a a washing machine here, which is a washer dryer. One of the rules of the building will be you cannot hang your clothes out on the balcony to dry because we want the building to maintain a high standard of appearance. You'll be able to dry your clothes in the washer dryer here. So coming back to the building, as I said, you have the executive apartments up to the 88 Club Lounge, and then you go to the executive plus apartments above, and the executive plus apartments are a much higher quality. And of course, now you're on the 33rd floor. And these are amazing apartments, higher quality, but the furniture is not included. And I think here we're going to have Rosemary join us once again.
Love it. In Manhattan for views and things like that. But when you're on the terrace, what are the sort of views that you're talking about? You've talked about location. You've talked about all those nice things. What view is one getting? Because in Manhattan, we are trying to get a piece of Manhattan here in Nairobi.
So you live in Manhattan, is that right, Rosemary?
Yes. Roosevelt Island, you have both Queens and also Manhattan. So I'm surrounded by the East River.
So you get amazing views there.
Yes, it is. But we're not as high as this one. Can you talk a little bit about the views? Because basically,
I've got some photos for you. I have some photos for you. Have a look at this.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
So this is actually only from the 22nd floor, Rosemary.
Yes.
So you can imagine we have 44 floors, so we're going to be double this.
Yeah.
So this photo is facing Westlands, and you can see what an amazing view it is. And this photo was taken from the 22nd floor. So we will be 44 floors. We'll be twice as high as this. And looking in the other direction, you're facing across Upper Hill. So from 44 floors, you'll be looking down on all of this. Mm-hmm. And you can see there the Nairobi Club. So you've got the running track, you've got the squash courts, the tennis courts, and you can become a member of Nairobi Club. You've got all the facilities just up the road.
That's really, the views are amazing, and I think this is what people love most. But let's go into the details about, the cost, the standard payment plan, if there is any mortgage option or some sort of a discount upfront for our esteemed listeners and viewers.
Okay, so let me finish the presentation, and I'll come on to that, Rosemary.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
So let me continue. So from the 88 Club Lounge, this is it's a very high-end club lounge. There's going to be a cigar room. It's a place where you can bring your business partners and high-end clients. It will be free access for duplex and penthouse owners, and for everybody else, it'll be a membership. So, but it's on the 33rd floor. It's got amazing views. It has its own bar in there, so it's a very private area as well. And there's a meeting room area which you can use as well. Then above that, on the 34th floor, we have a 21-meter indoor heated pool. And even the floor is heated. And it's like a lounge area. So, and you can see there's a bar even in the pool area. So here you can go and get your drinks, relax in the lounge area here, or take your drinks and go out onto the sunset terrace. And we call it sunset because you will watch the sunset going down over the Ngong Hills. And you can fit 40 people on here. It'll be an amazing event space. But again, only for residents and their visitors and owners of the property. It will not be open for the general public. So let me go on and tell you more about this iconic building and the iconic standards we have built this to. So and unparalleled specifications. We've designed it to EU architectural standards. This is the way the Turkish architects were told to design the building. We've designed it to UN security standards. So that means that you can rent out the property to the World Bank, to embassy people, and to a lot of other international companies who need to meet UN standards security. And I could go for a long time explaining that to you, the detail we have gone. We've actually used the German, the consulting company who's advising us was the head of all German security for all German embassies in Africa. And he's now set up a consulting company to help us to ensure that this building, and he says this is the first building in Nairobi that's been designed from scratch to meet UN standards of security. Then we have got here the building. I mean, yes, we have said we're doing EU architectural standards, but in EU there are no earthquakes. Here in Nairobi, we have a few tremors, but no major earthquakes. But having said that, we're designing the structures designed to USA structural standards. So it's incredibly stable. Fire standards, we have actually gone for British fire standards, which is higher than EU standards. So because this is going to be really important to make sure. So there are smoke detectors and sprinklers in every room. Of course, not the bathrooms, but in every other living space there is smoke detectors and sprinklers. Now, one thing I really want to point out to you is the floor to ceiling. I've been extremely generous here, and I feel it's really important to make it really iconic, this building. Standard floor to ceiling height in most apartment residential buildings is 2.7 meters clear height. Our executive and executive plus at 2.9 meters high is very generous. The duplexes are 3.25 meters, and the penthouses are nearly 4 meters floor to ceiling. So if you go in there, you've got floor to ceiling height of nearly 4 meters glass, looking out across the whole of Kenya. You'll be able to see and actually going from both executive floors going up, you will be able to see Mount Kilimanjaro one way, Mount Kenya another way. You'll see the Aberdares in another direction. So the views are phenomenal at this upper levels. They are definitely unparalleled. And the building, as I said before, has air conditioning and heating, and all the windows are double glazed. As most of you know, in Kenya, we don't, up to now, most buildings are just single glazed, but this will be fully double glazed. Amenities. I have no time to go through all the amenities. There is no building in Nairobi which has got the extent of amenities like we have put into this building. Please talk to your sales manager or contact us, and we will happily go through all of these with you. It's an incredible number of amenities we built in here. And, you know, for example, we've gone and put sound insulation between the floors. No other building has got sound insulation between the floors. And even for the Executive Plus and the duplexes and penthouses, we've even between the apartments, we have put sound insulation between the apartments. So there's no other building in Nairobi that is built to this high standards with all the amenities that are in here. Now let's look at the team. The team is, here we can see the Turkish, the bottom left-hand corner, the architect who did the original concept design. I have a Turkish project manager who's the photo next to me. He's based here in Nairobi, working for me full-time. He's built many high-rise buildings, and his experience is now being shared with my Kenyan team to help transfer knowledge to build up our Kenyan capability. So in future, we can also build high-rise buildings here in Kenya ourselves. So, and then on the right-hand side, you see my sales team, and I hope that you'll be in contact with them and talk to them. Now let's look at the investments and returns from the building. This is what Rosemary just asked me about. And you will see here, the red is during the construction period. We are expecting that that the prices are going to go up, and they will grow from starting in January next year, and they will go all the way up. And this is following very much what has already happened. And this is our projection. We reckon by the time completion is in November 2023, we'll be 35% up. And then even a year later or something like that, we would anticipate to have gone up now to a total of a 50% increase in capital value. Now that's capital value. Now let's look at the rental returns. First of all, let's just identify what is the comparable averages. We went around and looked at what a two-bedroom apartment would rent for, and the nearest good quality apartments are not even on this map. Gem Suites is off the map. Serene Valley is off the map. Yaya Towers is off the map. And these are the best ones that we could find, the nearest to Upper Hill. And you can see here the rentals that were pre-COVID rental rates and very high occupancy pre-COVID. So now we do it obviously during COVID, rents have dropped, but we all anticipate that this is a period of time, and Kenya being the center of East Africa in terms of its economic center, this is going to grow and develop, and we believe the rental levels will definitely all come back and even grow further. So taking the average rental price here of 360,000 shillings a month, we can now look at this table. And you can see on the table here that we look at the executive apartments, the average purchase price around 25 million shillings, using the comparable average of 360,000, which actually, by the way, is only 12,000 shillings a day, is equating to a 17% annual yield. Now, even if you wanted to be a little bit conservative and say that, you know, it's only going to be 300,000 shillings, it's still showing a 14%, over 14% return, annual return on your investment. Now, if you look at the average purchase price of the Executive Plus, we expect the rental to be higher. So we're looking at 5,500 a month, which is only $183 a day. And that's coming out at getting on for 19% annual return. And the conservative income is around $4,000, which is roughly the same as the comparable average. And that's even showing a 13.6. So return on investment is extremely attractive at this moment. So here we go. This is your anticipated return on investments. You've got 50% potential on capital over the next 3 years and a rental return of 16% per annum. Now, for Christmas, for this 1 month, until 31st of December, we are offering an 8% discount. We've decided to really, it's been put under quite a bit of pressure to really give something for the diaspora who are coming back over this Christmas period and looking to invest. So we've decided to give an 8% discount during the month of December. Now that is on the basis that you sign a reservation agreement and you have paid the reservation fee, which is $1,000. So having done that, you will get an 8% discount off all current prices. So there you go, Rosemary. I've now given you your returns on your investment and also the extra which you asked me for, what we're going to offer to everybody who's going to be watching this webinar and anyone who gets to know about it during the month of December.
Yes, I can see. Thank you. I know the pressure came from me and my other comrades who were pushing for it. But thank you for that. I mean, here we're looking at quality, quality, quality. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if you want a piece of that. But let's talk a little bit about the building management services, you know, and what they are and if there are any fees associated with that. Because I know most condominiums worldwide do have something like that, just to ensure that everything is running seamlessly.
So yes, that's a good point, Rosemary. We find on the management side, there is no company in Nairobi that we have found that we were satisfied with who would have the experience of managing such a complex building. A high rise is very complex. So what we decided to do is to go to Turkey, where there's so many residential buildings of this height and complexity. And we're going to employ a Turkish management group to come in and set up our Kenyan team and train them for 3 years, or 2 to 3 years, to train them to manage the building. So we'll have a Turkish consulting firm setting up the Kenyan team, managing them on a day-to-day basis to ensure smooth running of the whole operation. And the services that will be provided will actually be not only just running the building, but also we'll offer like a shopping list you can check off. You can choose that the management company can rent it for you, they can collect the rent for you, or they can do the changeover for you. So multiple different things which are optional. If you don't think they're doing a good job renting it, you can use anybody else you want to do. So, and each one will have a separate fee, so you'll know what the fee will be. In this way, it will help the management company to be competitive, to be efficient, so that they can actually provide a good service to the owners.
No, this is wonderful. In fact, one of the things that was going through my mind is, you know, I went to the Bahamas, and one of the things that they were pushing for was timeshare, and there was a building like this coming up. But, you know, I kept thinking, will there be something like this in my own country? And lo and behold, you know, something like this comes. Really, it's just amazing. Some of the facilities that you're talking about, people are more interested in also knowing, you know, in terms of the returns. You talked about UN security standards, and being with the UN myself, I know they're really thorough on that. I have my friend, Dr. Shiro, who is in California, and you touched a little bit on the tremors and the earthquakes and what have you. So you've really gone out of your way to really look at all the minute details and the big details, you know, anticipate what people may be thinking about. So I really want to appreciate you on that. And, you know, yes, yeah, thank you. Tell us a little bit about the financing.
So on the financing, we have the payment plan we have at the moment is that you pay 10% on signing the offer letter. Well, first of all, you sign a reservation agreement for $1,000. Then you sign an offer letter, you pay 10%, and then you pay the sale agreement. You pay another percentage of 30% on the sale agreement. And then, so then you actually pay the remaining amount during the construction period. So you're getting 60% paid during the construction period and a final 10% on completion. So this is the payment plan we have at the moment, and if you contact us and our sales team, they'll be able to break that down for you further. Now, if you do pay in advance, so just to clarify that again, it's 10% on the offer letter, 20% on the sale agreement, so that's a total of 30% up to the sale agreement, and then you've got 60% during the construction period and 10% on completion. And you pay it monthly, the 60% monthly during the construction period. Now, if you were to pay the full amount up front, then you can come and talk to us. There are certain discounts that we give for advance payments for the purchase price.
Yes, I think it's also important to underline certain things that you've said. And really, I can't thank you enough and appreciate all the information that you're giving out to would-be buyers. And I hope really people take up this. I would like to take up this offer myself. I mean, even before December. So I hope, I can be a neighbor with Dr. Shiro in California, joining me so we can, have our tea parties in the lounge. I mean, it looks beautiful. Talk a little bit about the insurance in case of destruction, in case of, any damage. Is there any insurance coverage for the building?
So at the moment, as I said, the construction will be finished by the end of 23. So we've got 2 years left of construction time. And the construction, during the construction period, we have full insurance for the building, of course. But one of the things that I took out, Rosemary, which is completely new in this country, and I had to, but it's common in America and common in Europe, is you take out design insurance. Yeah. Here in Kenya, you trust the architect and for their insurance, but the problem is the architects have very small insurance amount, and you rely on them paying their monthly payments for their insurance. But so we've decided to take out design insurance for the whole building, and this is around $10 million for any fault in the design, and also it covers the workmanship as well. So, and we had to teach the insurance companies here in Kenya, and they had to talk to the insurance partners and reinsurance in Europe how it's done. So we are the first to ensure that, if something ever happens, you've invested in the building, there's a design problem, it's very, very well covered. And we are unique in that aspect.
Yes, thank you. A couple of things that I also wanted to just mention to the audience, I mean, if they can hear me. I will have the brochures for 88. So anybody who would like me to mail them to you in the US, please feel free to get in touch. I mean, you can check my email address, even on Facebook, it's there, on LinkedIn, there's a way, on social media, how people can get in touch and what have you. So this return at the 88 building, it's just an amazing building. I wanted to hear more on moving forward. And I think this is something that we really need to buttress and underline. When is the final date where people can turnkey their apartment? Please do talk about that a little bit more. And where are we at this particular time? I do remember the information, but I think people are asking, and they want to know more about that.
So as I said to you today, we are 44 floors, and which is, of course, half of 88. And I got the name 88 because when I was we were trying to come up with a name, what to call it. And my architect we had a front garden and a rear garden, and he had drawn a footpath on each of the gardens in the shape of an 8. And I was looking at the plan, and I saw these two 8s, and I said, how about we call it 88? And everyone liked the name. So that's where 88 came from. At that time, we were 41 floors. And so we had to increase the number of floors to 44. So we're half of 88. So that's how it all came about. And so I was walking on the building this afternoon, and we are on the 18th floor. We'll be casting the 18th floor this weekend. We're doing one floor nearly every week. And the whole building itself, we anticipate having it complete by the end of 23. That's where the completion will be. And in terms of sales so far, we're doing it extremely well, and I'm really pleased with the way we're going. We're around 80 sales at the moment. I'm hoping to get up to another 20 sales between now and Christmas. So we'll have hit around 100 sales by the end of this year, and that will be 1/3 of the way through. There are 300 apartments, and that actually is another good point, Rosemary, because yes, we have a lot of amenities. There's a lot of cost in the amenities, but we're spreading that cost of all running the building over 300 apartments. So your unit rate is very, very reasonable, and it's no higher than any other high quality residential building in Nairobi. So we are now have reached around 180 apartments sold. We're getting up to 100 we hope to achieve by the end of the year. And then, we'll see how it goes from there. We're funding it. The financing of the project is coming from my own money and sale income. And we also have bank financing ready to step in when we need it.
There's one thing that I did pick up from Betty Chelo. I'll actually call her ambassador for 88 because she's done some amazing work, which is on YouTube. And I really encourage our audience to go out there if they have more information, and also to get in touch with the sales team. I mean, even if you're just seeking information. And let me read out that it's www.88nairobi as one word .com. I think you can all see it on the screen. But I mean, any information, teeny tiny information, huge information you need, other than just hearing Jonathan speaking about it and sharing information, which is not exhaustive. It's not exhaustive because people want to hear more about the floor plans. They want to know how many apartments. And, tell us a little bit. You talked about 3 bedrooms. You talked about 2 bedrooms. You talked about studio. And what else?
So we have studios. We have 1 beds. We have 2 beds. And we have some special 2 beds, which we call split unit 2 beds. So they can be split into a studio or a 1 bed. Or you can rent it out as a 2 bed. And do talk to the sales team. They will show you how that works. It's very, very flexible, giving you 2 entrances, and it is a 2-bedroom unit, but you can then rent it out as a studio or a 1 bed. And the studios that we have, they've been very popular. Rosemary, we only have 6 studios remaining. There are only 6 of them left. So we've been selling those incredibly quickly. And then, yes, we're very happy with the way it's going. And we really appreciate how diaspora, and those people who travel abroad really understand that this is something really new for Nairobi, really unique for Nairobi. It's going to be iconic for Nairobi.
Yeah, one may consider this as very pricey, but I think I just wanted to add a one-liner and say that Nairobi, being so international, and we have 2 UN headquarters in Nairobi. We have UN Habitat and we have UNEP that has headquarters here. And, they are always, and the reason I bring that up is that I know, and all of you know, that UNEP has the governing council every May. So if you've done this investment, once it's completed in 2023, you can actually get some of your guests, if you're away in the diaspora, get your guests staying, or some of the delegates are staying there, because security is really top notch. As Jonathan has told us, we only have a few studios coming up, and it's a good return for your investment. And here is quality, and location. I mean, I can't thank you enough. I really can't thank you enough.
For sure, the location is unique. I mean, yes. As you know, in Westlands or Kilimani, there are so many apartment developments there. So there's a high competition for renting out apartments. In Upper Hill, we're the only high-quality residential building with all the amenities you would expect in such a project. So we are unique. Our position is absolutely unique, and so we're really happy, and I'm really excited about the project, as you can see. And I'm glad that everyone is able to join us for this presentation. And just to let you know, Rosemary, we have recorded this presentation. It is going to be uploaded onto our website. So if you want to go back, anyone, and listen to the presentation again, it is going to be uploaded onto the website, 88 Nairobi website.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, in conclusion, we do want to make this, really a very long presentation and boring. Everybody is busy. I mean, people are working from home. Those in California are just waking up. Those in Australia, I don't know what time it is. But hey, I'm glad you are able to join me and Jonathan on this journey to listen in, to participate, to ask questions. We are running out of time, and I've seen a number of questions coming up. What we will do is that we will attempt to answer all your questions, after this, and there'll be any last minute, call to action or information you want to give, Jonathan, before I wrap up.
So, Rosemary, one thing I would like to say is that, if you're coming to Kenya, we have a full show apartment, a full sales office. So do come in, and we can then walk you around the building, show you the show apartment. And even before then, do contact us online. You go to our website or social media. We're in all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of these things. Go there. You can find us, contact to us. We'll respond to you and be very glad to help you and help you to become part of this iconic development. And I think, from my side on this, I would really like to, Rosemary, and I would like to say to all our viewers, I really wish everyone a really great Christmas season, December season. And if you're coming to Kenya, we'd love to see you. And if you're in Kenya, we would still love to see you. And wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.
There are those who've said that they're interested in the brochures, and really in wrapping up, first and foremost, I really want to thank you. I mean, Jonathan has said it. I want to say it 1,000 times, that thank you for coming along to just listen into this information, hear what Jonathan has to offer, some of the other projects he's been able to undertake very successfully, both in Karen Hills, in Prague, and elsewhere. And who knows? I mean, if we make him happy and get all these, apartments sold, he may come up with another, apartment. Who knows? We would like to see that. Remember certain things. There's the website, www.88nairobi.com. For those interested in the brochures that I'll have very, very soon, I can mail them all to you in the US, easily. And yes, go on the website of 88nairobi.com, indicate that you want the brochure, and I'll mail it to you because I'll have it, So without much ado, I really want to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Jamhuri Day, which I believe is 12th December, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, Christmas is coming up. For those who are coming to Nairobi, please don't hesitate to go in, check out, the showroom, ask more questions directly. There's an really able sales team. I think you saw some of their pictures. My brother Marshall and others, are there ready just to support you with all the information. Two things that you can do: hear the information, like what you hear, and you're never, the email I sent out to everybody, I said, you are never too young or too old to make an investment. If you're too old, you leave it to your children or grandchildren, and who knows, we'll be neighbors. So thank you so much. This is just one of the webinars that we're holding. If you're interested in hearing more, we have a series of them coming up. Do let us know when you'd like to have, your time, so that we can hold another session, we can speak again, and I can share more information. Jonathan and his team will be also available in this sort of webinar. And the other thing that I also want to promise is that for those of us who are in the US, we are still in discussion, but there'll be a team also visiting the US to come, and you are able to, of course, everything considered with COVID, the pandemic, and the new variants. But anyway, we'll adhere to all those health protocols. But I am thinking that it would be nice to really host this team in the US. Other than just having a virtual meeting, to be able to meet with them and ask all these questions. Not everybody can travel back to Nairobi and be able to see the showroom. So is that right? That information, Jackson?
Yes. Yeah, yes. We'd be very happy to do a tour of both Europe and America, and to actually meet people who are interested. Those who are not able to come for this Christmas, we would be very happy to do that, and we'll plan that for next year. But, if you want your 8%, you're going to have to get it and get your reservation done before the end of December this year. So thank you. I think we've come to the end of our session, Rosemary. Thank you so much for participating and helping us and hosting this.
Yes. And this is a project I loved from the beginning when I got involved, and want to continue. And I hope all of you who are my supporters, support us in this journey, and this is a worthy investment. Really, I can't buttress that point enough. We all live in apartments in New York and elsewhere. For those who are in Texas, probably you're in big mansions. But listen, you get something like this, turnkey, complete. You won't really walk in with your beddings and a few other things, but you're ready to go. There is a washer, there is a microwave, there is a washing machine, and you have a beautiful lounge. Really. Just an amazing place. I'm very excited.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Rosemary. I think we are going to call it there. We finished our 1 hour, and I think that's been fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you, Rosemary, and we look forward to doing the next one next time.
Thank you. And I didn't want to take too much time. I wanted to adhere to the 1 hour slot. Thank you, and God bless all of you from wherever you're watching and listening from.
Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year to everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.